So we said last week that we started to see the red flags for the way that culture was atomizing in a way that I think we're just now trying to figure out. We're just now seeing like the for real impact of. Well, this is when I think the lights started flashing red. Even though we did have so many like shared experiences culturally that like really bubbled up. I can't believe 2021 was Oprah's interview with Harry and Meghan. It feels like last year. Why does it feel like it was not that long ago? It was so long ago.
I wonder if it's because that situation just doesn't feel like it has any resolution.
Yeah, I think because it defined them so definitively. And so if you hear about them, you think about that situation. So it's sort of ever present.
And they want to be ever present in the cultural consciousness.
Right.
And so it just hangs around.
There's a lot of things that I looked back and thought, wait, that was in 2021? Like, Free Britney feels more recent than in fact it is. That's when the conservatorship of her was finally ended after 13 years.
I don't really have a good perception of time around that. And I also still do not know how I feel about any of it.
Well,
other than sad that she has been through everything she's been through.
There was so much like, for lack of a better word, like throwback. So we're talking about Britney. We're talking about Bennifer. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck got back together. And I think for a moment put us back on the right timeline. Then they broke up and here we are. I'm just saying.
You think they belong together cosmically?
For the good of the rest of us, I do.
Okay.
I think they should take one for the team. Taylor Swift's re-recording.
Yeah.
She starts doing the Taylor's reversion. Marvel comes back. There's just a lot of like, even Meghan and Harry, like that is, the royal family is like in a certain way always a throwback. So there's just like so much like revisiting going on.
Which does make sense that you would go for nostalgia in a disrupted time.
Yeah. Well, your choices were nostalgia or Squid Games.
Yeah, and I took nostalgia at that time.
I did not watch Squid Games. I think I watched one episode and I was like, got it. No, thank you.
I heard the premise and was out.
Yeah, it was dark. We got a fresh one. We got a fresh one with Olivia Rodrigo. Did love that album.
Sour was tremendous.
So walked around listening to Driver's License. My son was like, what's wrong with you? And I said, when your heart breaks and all this music opens up to you, you'll understand. It's worth it. It's worth the heartbreak to be able to listen to Driver's License.
You know what we should do for just the good of humanity with this episode? We should link the clip from SNL when Regé-Jean Page hosted, the very, very attractive man from Bridgerton. Remember him?
Yeah, I didn't watch Bridgerton. When was Bridgerton? What year was that?
It's got to be about the same time, right? When it was really taking off.
You don't watch Bridgerton, do you?
No.
I don't either. But I do love that man because he's in Bad Sisters. 2020. We missed that last week.
Bridgerton.
Missed that one.
2020.
Bridgerton.
So he's hosting SNL and they do Driver's License. And he's singing with a group of people in a bar to Driver's License. And Kate McKinnon is like, everybody get ready for the bridge of your life. It was so funny.
Yeah, that was a good one. Well, and I think culturally, as I look over this list too, like there were some fights bubbling like around the reopening and people were going back to concerts and Broadway was opening back up. So like all that sensitivity was everywhere, even culturally. Same to what we were talking about last week. Like kind of everything had to have a purpose and a message. And it just, it's not like I like Driver's License, but I don't look back on this list and think, what a contributive year to art. You know what I mean? Not that, listen, I'm sure there were incredibly important artistic contributions, but I don't know. I think the throwback energy is probably the predominant one.
What makes me feel most hopeful here is that we did get back to the movie theater.
Yeah.
This year looked like the movie theaters could be over. It really did.
Yeah.
And people are coming back out and we're realizing that it's really, really fun. And the
everybody
movie theater
just said, if Bennifer can make a go of it, so can we.
That's right. And honestly, I think the movie theater stands out as like a beacon of hope to me because it is expensive to go to movies, but it is not like going to a concert. Like concerts were covered, but only certain kinds of concerts, really.
Yeah,
it's very,
that's
very
true.
hard to make money on a small concert now. So it's kind of like blockbuster ticket sales go crazy, or you're floating a balloon and then having to cancel the concert before the run because it's not going to work economically. The movies, I feel like we have in big enough numbers tried to come out and say, this is a valuable experience that we want to keep.
Well, I do think in 2021, if we weren't trying, we were still thinking about valuable experiences we wanted back. That's for sure. And listen, that journey and that conversation is not over. Next up, we'll talk about 2022 next week. We will be back in your ears on Tuesday with the latest in the headlines and the news. So until then, keep it nuanced, y'all.